So let's go ahead and create our area. I'm going to go to areas. So once again, let me point out the work to create the area type was done by someone who's an admin level user. The work to create an area might be done by someone with less privileges, but their work has been simplified because whoever created the area type reduced the amount of work that has to be done when creating the area. So I'm going to go to areas. I'm going to create my first area. Once again, I can do it from here, or I can push this button here, create. Now my area can be an indoor area or an outdoor area. So if I click on this drop down, you'll see that geometry type gives me the option of GPS, which all of us recognize, but we at Clearblade have had experiences where some of our customers needed us to map large indoor areas, the inner part of large buildings. And so we've had to learn how to create indoor areas and indoor area models. So here's some choices for your geometry type. For our example, this is just a simple outdoor area, so GPS is what I picked for geometry type. And then the area type is storage site, which I just created. So this shows up as a drop down because I just created it. It's not something I typed in here before. Same thing here. The ID of this area, I'm going to call Austin_HQ. That was something I typed in gray box down here for Austin headquarters, because I'm going to make my first area essentially approximately the location of our office in Austin. The label is going to be Austin headquarters. Again, something I typed in here before. And this is something we're not going to cover in this video, but keep an eye out for a future video where we talk about parent-child relationships between areas and assets. Essentially, we will be able to create an area that's made up of other areas. The owning area will be called the parent, the owned areas will be called children, and you can establish parent-child relationships that way. Same thing with assets. We can have an asset that's made up of other assets. The owning asset will be called the parent, and the owned assets will be called the children, and that is also something that can be done. Once again, I'm not going to cover that in this video, but keep an eye out for future videos where we will do just that. So let me go ahead and assign this area to the default group, and I can assign a picture to it. There's several other things I can do. But what I'll do next is to define its location. I can either type in longitude and latitude, or I can go to the map and I can use this tool, the marker tool, click, and I'll just put it here. This is not exactly where the office is, but 6th and Colorado is pretty close to the center of town. Okay. Okay. Next, I'm going to define a region or geofence around that location. And that's going to show up in this polygon, but the way I'm going to create it is by using this polygon tool. I click on that, and I click and let go to create my first vertex, click and let go for the second vertex, click and let go, click and let go, double click and let go when I'm done. And now I have created a geofence around my location, and hence I have my area. I'm going to go ahead and copy this longitude because I'm going to use it later. And then I'll go ahead and click create. And now I have an area. And if I go to my home page on my map, you'll see that I see my area. What we're going to do next is to create our asset type, our one asset type, to create our one area. So that's next.